Rosie Napravnik with Twin Spires, here with one of my favorite people on the backside, Bob Bafert. Bob, we have been watching your horse train. There's not a ton of hype about him, but we have learned that we cannot underestimate Bob Bafert in the Derby, especially after downplaying Authentic last year.
Well, if I had you riding him, I'd feel a lot better about it. See?
Well, you didn't invite me.
I know it. You had to quit on it.
I would have gotten fit to ride Medina Spirit.
You retired on us too early, but maybe, you never know. If I get another one, I'll have to give you a call.
So not the typical type of horse that we see, the Justify, the American Pharoah. This horse was actually purchased for $1,000 at one point in his career, and then $35,000 at another point in his career. Tell us about how this horse came into your barn.
Well, the owner, he is from, he's actually was from Saudi Arabia, and his friend who owned a stallion named Protonico, they grew up together in Medina, Arabia. That's where he got the name Medina Spirit from. And he said, he called him up. He says, hey, if you're looking for a horse, I bred this horse. I sold him for $1,000 to my Gallop boy. He worked really well at OBS, Florida Sale. You need to buy him. Have your guys check it out. So he asked me, and I said, I think he looks good. And I want to buy it because he's my friend. And he had his agent, Gary Young, was there, and he said, yeah, I really can't fault him. And so he buys him, thinking nothing of it, but he's a nice horse. He's a pretty horse, and he's made right. And so we just threw him in there with all those good ones, but all of a sudden when he came out of I sent him all the Los Alamitos first, and the guy down there says, you know what? That one that they didn't give much for, I think he's okay. We brought him over, and sure enough, he could hold his own with the well-bred horses. And the thing about him, he's always, he's just been a cut below the top ones. He runs first or second. But if you put him in the fight, he has a big heart, and he doesn't give up. So that's his whole. The key is if he's there at home, he's going to fight. He's going to hopefully get a place in whatever. I'm sort of. I come into a race, Rosie, expect the worst, hope for the best attitude, because this game will just drive you crazy. The disappointments in it, and I don't like to get myself keyed up. Everybody just calm, relax, nothing to get nervous about. It's a different feeling when I came in with a horse like Justify or American Pharoah, because I know, man, I hope I don't mess this up. We got these big Ferraris in here coming in here. Better get the job done. So we're just coming in here. We're part of it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, and there's nothing else you can do than focus on how your horse is training and how he's coming into the race. He was the beaten favorite in the Santa Anita Derby, but when you look at his final breeze right before he came over to Churchill, he looks like a top-class horse in this breeze. Tell us about the breeze. I know from experience you like a pretty solid breeze. I remember one time I was breeding FedBiz, and Jimmy was prepping me, make sure you get that first 8th and 12, and I worked the horse in 10 and 4, and I was like, oops. I guess horses work fast, but
they're fast. But the thing is Santa Anita, they've changed the track. It's like a quicksand. It's really deep and sandy. And so a lot of horses struggle over it, and I've noticed that the horses that I've brought here, they're really just skipping over this track. I love this surface here, and they are really going over it really well. And so they get here, they feel like they've kicked off their hiking boots, and so I think you're going to see a lot of these California horses. That's why they've run so well when they left California, because they're not getting so tired. And so on a fitness level, I think he's fit enough to go a mile and a quarter. Is he good enough? We don't know. He got beat pretty handily by Life is Good the time before, who was my, if he was here, he'd be probably the favorite. Right. And then you've got Rock Your World. He's a big turf horse, big long jumping horse. Inexperienced, but if you have speed and there's 20 horses, well, you're hoping he's only going to see 19 or 18 of them. Right. He's not going to see any of them. He's just going to be out there. So that's why the break is so important in this race.
And for you actually, you're already winning, drawing the 8 hole. or at least we
Yeah.
hope to think so. You know,
I like that post. It's you're right there. He's actually the inside speed now.
Yeah.
Because all the speed seems from 8,
Yeah,
9,
it's
10.
coming.
They're right there. So the break is going to be very important for him. He needs to get away from there. Johnny, I'm going to talk to Johnny tonight. We're going to go over a game plan. We went over a game plan with Authentic last year, like 2 nights in a row.
Did it pan out?
And it panned out. Just, I mean, to me, he just rode an exceptional race. And you know, what do? We look at the different horses, the different riders. You know what certain riders going to do. You know how they all think. So you plan your strategy around how those other riders think, and you know, well, I'm going to do this. And so, but at the end of the day, you still need the horse. And
Right. But, well, you're set up with one of the best post positions, like you said, inside the speed, and you've got probably the best, in my opinion, Johnny would be the best jockey riding in the country right now. He's a class act. You guys are obviously tight connections and have had some success, so that's got to give you confidence.
it does, and my horse is Johnny's a great gate rider. He's a good gate horse. Leaves the gate. They're narrow. You know, they're all close together, so it's going to be very important. That first jump is so important, as you know, and once you get away from there clear, then it's, you know, I think it's going to be, there's a lot of horses with the same style.
Yep.
You know.
So that's where it comes down to the break.
But you know what I love about the Kentucky Derby is everybody thinks they have a chance to win. And right now it sounds like that winner's circle is going to be pretty crowded. Everybody, you know, so we'll see what happens.
Well, we have all learned not to downplay your horses or underestimate you, Bob. So best of luck to become the most winningest trainer all by yourself of the Kentucky.
Yeah,
Derby.
I'm going to have to see something really extra from him. We need to find about 4 lengths since his last out. So hopefully maybe the faster track will.
All right, well,
will
you
do
can
that.
downplay him all you want, but I'm just going to keep the Bob Baffertt factor in play.
He's a good horse. He's solid though. He's got a big heart, and he tries hard every time. He hasn't run a bad one yet.
Yeah.
So
Well,
hopefully, and he looks good. So.
And being out here is kind of making me miss it. So next year, just give me a shout. I'll come start breezing some horses, and we can hook up.
You're ready to go right now. So.